Hey everybody, it's Julie from A Beautiful Horizon, and we talk about homemaking, homeschooling, and intentional living on this channel. Today we are talking about homeschool curriculum choices for 2020-2021, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to be making this into a series since I have 3 grades to talk about, but I feel like in each of the videos I'm going to be adding on, so you might want to watch all of them to get like a more full overview of how we do things and my teaching style and that sort of thing. And I just want to say right off the bat that I am not a super nitty gritty detailed kind of homeschool mom YouTuber person. I don't do day in the lives. I don't show you my kids' work. It's just something that I decided for myself, and I think that can be very helpful. It's just not something that I want to do. So for me, the way that I like to share is just to kind of tell you what I'm doing, show you some of the things that I'm using, and just kind of share my journey in a lighthearted and hopefully encouraging way. But I'm not seeking to show you every specific detail. I don't think that's possible. I don't think anyone can do that. But I just wanted to let you know that right off the bat that this is kind of like a overview, hopefully helpful, might show you some things that maybe you haven't thought of or heard of, and hopefully, like I said, will be encouraging. So that's kind of my viewpoint here. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to read them in the comments, and I'll just kind of go off of how I feel for each question on how detailed I get in my answers. But I love homeschooling, and one of the things that I love about it the most is that it's so tailored. It can be so tailored to like your family, your teaching style, your child, your children, how many kids you have, what you like to do. And I think that's precious. And so I want to celebrate that in you, with you, and as a community. I hope that we will always celebrate that each of us is going to be a little different. What works for you might not work for me. What works for me might not quite work for you. We might need to just change a little something here or there, or we might need to do something completely different from each other. So take everything that you read and watch from other mamas with a grain of salt. And I think that's what we all want, is for you just to get some inspiration, some encouragement, some help, some tips, and enjoy your journey, however that looks for you. And my second point that I want to make is that homeschooling isn't easy. And I think that as a mama who's posting on the internet, I want to, say things and be like, oh, maybe this will make life easier for you, and maybe this will, help you so it's not so difficult. And that's kind of the goal, I think. Sometimes with some of my thoughts in some of my videos is to share things that obviously will help you, and if it can make your life easier, that's always great. But I think that something gets lost in translation if I focus too much on making things easier, because I truly believe that in motherhood and in marriage, these things are here and they're sanctifying us. And sometimes they turn our thoughts on things upside down, and we think we have things figured out, and then something changes, or something happens, and we have to learn and adapt and grow. And I think that's part of the process too, that we sometimes can be hard, and sometimes we don't want to have to go through, but it can build our character. And I think homeschooling can build our children's character as well, as we're learning and growing together and figuring out how to teach and how to learn together. And I'm always learning with them, and I want to impart a joy of learning, of finding out things, of just, there's so many interesting things out there that we can learn about and grow in. And I know that there are things that are going to be hard, and I think that I can sometimes get the wrong mindset that, well, I just need to make things easier. But sometimes it's not about making things easier, it's about growing and teaching our kids that self-control, perseverance, self-discipline, determination, like sometimes those are the things that we need to talk about with our kids in those moments, instead of just saying, okay, how can I make this easier on me, or how can I make this easier on them? Sometimes we just need to push through and learn that ability to persevere, and even when things are a little bit hard. It's it's something to learn from. So for whatever that's worth, the first subject we're going to talk about is math for kindergarten. And I'm actually using the same curriculum company for all of my kids for the math subject. And that is the math lessons for a living education from Masterbooks. And I have been using this for a couple years now. If you watch my past videos, you'll remember better than I do right now. But we've been using the Masterbooks math and liking it, so I figured we would go with it. We would use that for kindergarten, and so here it is. And I like that it's brightly colored. My son has looked at it. He's really excited to start. He's been hearing so much of what everybody else has been doing for years, and so he's looking forward to having his own books, and we're looking forward to doing this together. I decided for a kindergarten program to also go with Masterbooks for him. We don't exclusively use any particular curriculum, or curricula. I know some people say, oh, you gotta say curricula, but everybody seems to say curriculum, so I don't know. Potato, potato. So in the Simply K, we are learning the alphabet, all the sounds, in a very focused manner. So we're really focusing on each letter as we go. And then we also have life skills, which was really something that drew me towards this particular book. And also ABCs, and we're learning the alphabet and basic reading skills. And then we have rhyme time, learning poetry and new vocabulary words. And then they have Bible, learning lessons from God's word and how we can live for him. Bible stories, character, and memory verses are used to lay out a biblical foundation. So my choices are definitely based on a biblical worldview or a Christian worldview. So if that is something that you don't like or don't want, these choices are probably not going to line up with what you want. So I just wanted to put that out there. I really like the idea of doing life skills in kindergarten, and I was just thinking, as we go, I want to incorporate my second grader and my sixth grader in with these lessons and make sure that I've covered all the different things with them that I'm going to be covering with my youngest. They have a lot of hands-on activities in the kindergarten program, so I'll probably be doing a haul with all the things that I'm going to get for that, and I really want to sort it out so it makes it easier on myself when the time comes, just to have everything I need on hand for each lesson already sorted. So that's my plan right now, so stay tuned. Hopefully I can get a video up of everything we need and how I organize it. So with this Simply K program, they had some printables that they said you could laminate. So it's got your ABCs. My son really loved all the pictures. He thought this was cool, although we've already talked about the ABCs plenty. I'm excited about really making sure that he has a firm foundation. I don't think that it's a waste of time or whatever to go back and make sure they have it all there. And then they have an emotions chart with the emotions on the back, and then they have weather. They have pictures, which are super cute, and then the different types of weather on the back. We did talk about weather this past year in our light and breezy preschool using this. I have a video all about some of my favorite homeschool, what are they called? Not resources, but like I put my favorite pencil sharpener, laminator, paper chopper, things like this. So I will link that within this playlist if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's from last year, but I still have all that stuff, and I used a lot of it this year for laminating everything. I use the same laminator from last year, and the chopper as well. And we use the pencil sharpener all the time, still going strong, love that. So I will make any, like notations at the top of that video and like a pinned comment if anything has changed, but I think it's all basically the same. And I will also link our homeschool room tour, which is just like our living area and dining area are next to each other, and that's where we do school. So I'll link that video as well from last year. And then also for my kindergartner, this is like a half-year program. This is 3 days a week, and then the math is 5 days a week. So we're going to be kind of doing this and this together, and my daughter's gonna sit in on this. We'll just see what else she can pick up from it as well, just to review and make sure, you know, we've got all our I's dotted and T's crossed. So that's what we're doing as far as the main subjects for kindergarten for my son. Like I said, there's going to be lots of little projects, and I don't know if you would call them experiments, but like little projects that are going to go along with each lesson. So I will be doing a haul to show you guys what I'm getting for that. But like I said, he's going to be learning lots of other things along with his siblings. So stay tuned in the video series to see what else he's going to be learning through all the other things that we're doing. That's all I'm going to share for today's video. Stay tuned, subscribe, turn on notifications if that's something that you like to do. I don't really do it on my phone, but if that's something that's up your alley, go for it. And like the video if you liked it, and I will be sharing the next video in the series, which is what my daughter is using for grade 2. And I will be posting that very soon. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.